Hi friends, my name's Annette with Sunbeam Fabric Art. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to take you through this quick and easy Ohio Star quilt block. You can make this block out of your stash, out of scraps, or brand new stuff. Whatever you choose, and it'll be great. It's a great block, very versatile. So come along with me and I'll show you what I did today. I'm leaving a link in the description for my coloring page out on Etsy. That gives you some blank coloring sheets and a couple of ideas. For myself, I'm working on some blocks for a sampler quilt, and I am only making one block, and these are the two colors I chose. These are some vintage fabrics I picked up at a sale recently. Now you can make this quilt block any size you want to, but these are my measurements. For my background, I need two 6-inch squares, one 4.5-inch square. For my color, I need four 4.5-inch squares and two 6-inch squares. Now the 6-inch squares are going to be used to make the hourglass blocks, and technically you could get away with a 5.5-inch square. I just like to make mine a little bit bigger. Step 1 in this quilt block is to make our 4 hourglass blocks. I'm taking my two 6-inch background squares. I'm drawing a diagonal line from corner to corner on the wrong side of the background fabric. Our next step is to make a half square triangle, so we're taking these 6-inch squares, putting them right sides together. We are going to stitch a 1/4 inch away from the line on one side of that line that we drew. And I did both 6-inch squares at the same time. Then I flipped the units around and I stitched a 1/4 inch away from the line down the other side. Next, I cut directly on the line I drew. Once I had these cut apart, I pressed these squares open to the dark side. Now that we have 4 half square triangles, we're going to make hourglass blocks. To do that, I'm going to take 2 of the half square triangles. I'm going to draw a line diagonally across the piece, corner to corner, on 2 of these half square triangles. Now here's a little close-up of drawing that line. You want to make sure when you're using your ruler that you're lining up a horizontal line on your ruler with the seam line that you just stitched. Then draw your vertical line. With that done, I'm going to take one of the half square triangles without a line, and I'm going to put that right sides together with one of the half square triangles that does have the line. And I'm making sure that my dark fabric is backed up to a light fabric and my light fabric is backed up to a dark fabric. I nest the seams together, and then I'm putting a pin about 1 inch or 2 away from the line I drew. That way I can leave the pins in as I stitch this block together. Now, just like we did to make the half square triangles, we're going to stitch a 1/4 inch away from the line down both of these units. Then I'm going to flip the units around and I'm going to stitch down the other side. And just like we did on the half square triangles, we're going to cut these directly on the line that we drew. Then I'm going to take these blocks to the ironing board and press them open. To trim your hourglass block, you're going to lay this out, and I'm using my diagonal line on my ruler to line up that seam. Then I want a 4.5 inch finished block, so I'm using the 2 1/4 line where that meets from the top and from the right hand side, and I'm putting that right in the center where these seams come together. So that center dot for me is 2 1/4 inches. That's going to get me a perfect 4.5 inch block. Once the top and the right hand side are trimmed away, I flip the block around. I line up my ruler with 4.5 inches on the left and the bottom, then trim away the excess, and we've got a great looking hourglass block. We'll lay out this block with the hourglass blocks. I'm putting the dark color towards the center. Next, I'm putting the 4 dark 4.5 inch squares around the outside corners of the Ohio Star block. And last, the light colored 4.5 inch square goes in the middle. I'm going to go ahead and sew each row together, and then I'll be right back. All right, with those 3 rows done, I'm going to first put row 2 together with row 1 just by flipping it down, and we have 2 seams that we need to nest. And you can see one of the seams is going one way, one seam is going the other way, and when you nest them they catch or lock, and then I'm going to put a clip in that, hold it in place till I get to the sewing machine. I went ahead and stitched these first 2 rows together, then I added on the 3rd row in the same way. And last, I pressed this block open. And here's our completed Ohio Star quilt block. It's so cute, so easy, so versatile. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope to see you back again real soon.